Teacher Navasa, River for International. We are going to review this paper, which was done by the 2025 candidates, Chemistry Paper 1. Teacher Navasa. Please, before we continue, do not forget to hit the subscribe, to like, and even share with others to be able to learn. Do not learn alone. Now, we are going to look at item 1, and the item 1 is telling us something which we are going to read right now, and it is saying that when preparing chicken sauce for her family, Jane adds common salt only. So there is a very big point there that we are going to visit. However, when she visited a restaurant, Jane noted that chicken sauce served to her contained onions, tomatoes, and curry powder, in addition to common salt, which she was using in her own sauce only. Figure 1 shows some of the ingredients used in the preparation of chicken sauce in the restaurant. You can see here, you can see onions, there is some curry powder here, there are some tomatoes. Now, Jane was highly impressed by the restaurant sauce, which tasted, so you can see, much better than the one she prepares at home. She wants to know more about the ingredients used in the restaurant and has approached you for help. We are going to start with task A. State the category of ingredients and the function of each ingredient. So we are going to look at them in details one after the other. Let us start. Now, we are going to start by identifying the ingredients that she saw in the sauce which was in the restaurant. Number 1, we are going to put hers, the one she was using at home, which is common salt. That is the one that she was using at home. But apart from that, she realized in the restaurant they were also using onions. Then she also realized that they were also using tomatoes. And then lastly, she realized they had added some curry powder. So now we have identified the different ingredients which were in the chicken sauce that Jane ate from a restaurant. Now, they want us to categorize these ingredients. How do we categorize them? Now, when you look at all these ones, you can realize that all these ones can be categorized under food, under food, under food, under food, additives. But now, not only just food additives, we can also go ahead and say, when you look at common salt and you look at curry powder, you see that these ones are man-made, or they are made by man. But when you look at onions and tomatoes, you realize those ones are natural. So you can also go ahead and say that actually common salt and curry powder are artificial food additives. And then you come and say that onions and tomatoes are natural food additives. Now we have categorized them. Now we have the category. Now our next step is to look at the function. They have said function, not functions, which means even if we name one function of each, we are good to go. Now we are going to use one side here. We are going to use one side here, and then we'll be able to answer our question. Now, Let's look at the functions of each. So we are going to functions of ingredients. This information is very, very important, especially for those of you who want to venture too much in food and nutrition, and also in hotel management, all those things. Very, very important. So let us start with common salt. What is the importance of common salt? We are going to have bullets. And bullet number one, we know that actually salt adds taste. So it adds taste. Others will say it enhances taste. That is one of them. If you ever eat food without salt, it is the way it tastes funny. Then number two, this salt, it is also, remember we said this salt is also called sodium chloride when we come to chemistry. Now, this salt can also act as a food preservative. It is also a food preservative. How? Because when salt is added in food, that's why food can stay a whole day without getting spoiled. Because it will prevent, we can say microbial, we can say bacterial, growth. Hence preventing food spoilage. That is some of the importances of actual salt in this process. Otherwise, if you don't put salt, one, food can easily get spoiled, and number two, it will not take long to be added. Others can say salt is also going to be used as a seasoning agent, something related to taste and flavor. Then they can also say it's a flavoring agent. All these ones are some of the importances of common salt in this one. Otherwise, we can look at another one. And we start with maybe onions. Now, how are onions? Remember, we said an onion, we said that this one, it is an artificial flavoring, artificial food additive. And of course, this one is going to be a natural food additive. Like that. So let's look at its importances. Number one, there is a way onions add aroma. They add aroma in food. When you eat the onions, when you eat sauce of food with onions, there is a way it brings out a good aroma. And usually when it is cooked in a different side and you are this side, you can easily know that it is for this side. This is because of onions. Number two, onions can also be used as colorants. In other words, they add color to food. Now, in this case, food is our chicken what? Is our chicken sauce. Now, another one, but a good example here is pilau, rice pilau. I don't know whether there is another pilau, but let me. But all of us know that for pilau to make and to be very nice, they must add onions, okay? So it is very, very important that we also add that this one is also a very good one. And then number three, on this one, onions are source of nutrients. So in addition to aroma and what? And basically here you are looking at vitamins. You are looking at vitamins, but it also has antioxidants. Antioxidants. So it is very important for also onions to be added in this particular section. Aha. So we are also going to look at, I think we can stop there for that one. Then we look at tomatoes. Let's look at tomatoes. And for tomatoes, we're going to write it here. Tomatoes. This one is also a natural flavoring. Is also a natural food additive. Now, what are some of the things? Number one, it also adds color. It also adds color. In other words, it is also a food colorant. Now, you also, another thing you realize that when you add tomato, the food also enhances its taste and flavor. Very important. So there are some food, if you don't add tomatoes, imagine eating beans without tomatoes. There is a way it feels it does not become nice. But number three, it is also used as a thickener. As a thickener. There is the way it thickens sauce. When you have tomatoes or a tomato and you add it, there is the way a sauce becomes thick enough or food becomes thick enough. So that's basically, but also it also adds, these tomatoes also add nutrients. They also add nutrients in the food, and specifically vitamins. Specifically vitamins. Now, so let's see, look at curry powder. Let's write curry powder here. Curry powder. So we can answer curry powder from here. We can answer curry powder here. Curry powder. Now, curry powder, one of the things also, it is also called colorant. It adds color. And number two, it increases appetite. It increases appetite. When you are eating food with the curry powder, there is the way it adds more appetite, and then you want it more, you want it more and more. But remember, this one is an artificial. Remember, this one is an artificial food additive. Food additive. So do not forget that. So basically, but also it also adds aroma. It also adds some aroma. It also adds some aroma. So basically, that is how we can answer part A. Now we want to go to part B. We want to go to part B. So what we are going to do, let's carry this one. Let's carry this one. And then put it this side. And then from there, we will be able to answer our part B from here. So our part B says, describe the side effects associated with the ingredients. So now here what we are going to do, we are going to look at the side effects of each. Now, side effects. Whenever you are answering a question and you see side effects or effects, make sure that for every effect you are going to give, you also add a mitigation. A mitigation. Okay, so which means we are going to look at the side effect of each and its own mitigation. Now let's dig deep into it. How are we going to state these ones? In summary, when you overconsume, so the overconsumption of these ingredients, result in mainly two problems. Number one, we have hypertension. Hypertension. Those of you who don't know, hypertension is high blood pressure. I believe in one way or the other, you have ever heard of someone who has been stopped from eating salt. So this one is usually related with salt. Then number two, we have allergic reactions. Now, when it comes to allergic reactions, there are very many. What are some of the indicators of allergic reactions? Some people vomit, others have skin irritations, others they have headache. There are some people who feel headache. Others have stomachache. All these ones are stomachache. Then others have running stomach. Others have running stomach, which we can call diarrhea. All these ones are the indicators that there is an allergic reaction when you eat that food. So if you get any of these signs when you eat certain food, especially like these ingredients, you know you are having an allergic reaction to that. And the general mitigations we go before we go into the one to one another. General mitigations one, you have to reduce intake. One is reducing intake of these ones. And number two, you seek medical advice from a doctor, not from ChatGPT. You know, these days, patients first go to ChatGPT to know their sickness, and then they go to the doctor as if the ChatGPT is the doctor. So let's dig deep into now one by one. Let's start with common salt. Common salt. Now, like I said, they only have a problem when they are taken in excess. Now, when excess salt intake, we have said it results into number one, hypertension. And I've told you previously that hypertension is also what we call high blood pressure. That is number one. Okay. And number two, it also can result into kidney problems. Can also bring kidney problems. Remember, they have said side effect in brackets S, which means I can give one or two because they have put S in brackets. So now, all these ones, they can result into, for example, hypertension may result into heart failure. Now, this heart failure is one of the problems that we are having these days in our community, and the hospitals are mainly stuck with them. So that is one of the issues that we are having in our medical field. Now, how can we mitigate this? Mitigation. Once the medical practitioner tells you have a problem with this, number one, you reduce, avoid, or stop intake of these ingredients. That is the first one that we are looking at. And then number two, we go and seek medical advice. Stop. We have now looked at the side effects and the mitigation of taking common salt, especially when it is in excess. Let's look at onions. The onions are very interesting. Number one, you know, these onions, they can trigger ulcers. But they can also cause ulcers. Very important. Very important. So if, and I'm sure there are people who have been stopped from eating spicy foods because they have ulcers. So that is where it comes from. Number two, if you take them in excess, they can bring eye eye irritations. You find that all times your eyes are irritating, all the times your eyes are irritating. That could be one of the effects of taking a lot of onions. So and you know all these ones, their effect, they make you discomfort. They cause a discomfort in the whole body. And of course, the mitigation of these, mitigation, like I told you, generally, mitigation of these, number one, you reduce or avoid or stop taking a food full or excess onions, or you reduce. So you reduce intake, and then number two, or another one is visiting a medical practitioner, medical practitioner for a medical advice. That is another one. Let's look another one. Let's look at tomatoes. Now, tomatoes, they have some acids, and therefore, especially citric, especially there is some amount of citric acid in tomatoes, and therefore they can also result into ulcers. Number one, can result into ulcers if they are overtaken all the time on tomatoes. Others eat them as kachumbari, others eat them raw, then they eat the cooked one. So you find that you have a lot. So that one increases acidity, which can result into ulcers, and the same can also result into heartburn. Heartburn. In Uganda, they call it chiketo. Heartburn, and I don't know if you have ever felt of heartburn. There is a way you feel like the chest is going to jump out. So that is one of the things. And then lastly, we look at curry powder. Let's look at curry powder. Curry powder. Curry powder is not any more different, and it can also, but one of its unique things, where it usually triggers, they usually trigger allergies. They trigger allergies. And allergies, I think I have talked. Now, allergies may include vomiting, may include skin irritation, may include running stomach. But let's take an example of a running stomach. After eating food in excess of these spices, you have your running stomach. What will happen? Because remember, as you have the running stomach, you are losing a lot of water in the water in the body. And what will be the last part? The last part might be you are going to get dehydrated. You are going to get dehydrated. And of course, when you are dehydrated, what is next? The next is to kiss the what? To kiss the soil. That is the thing. And then now we want to look at the last two parts. That's part C and part D. Let's speak them here. Yes, now part C and part D. Part C, actually, part C1 and part C2, we are looking at similarities. Now, the similarities, we are looking at how similar are the onions, tomatoes, curry powder, and common salt. How similar are they? Number one, we have seen that all of them add taste to food. They add taste to what? To food. In other words, they enhance taste in food. That is one. Number two, we have realized that all of these ones, they are food. All of them are food additives. Yes, that is also a similarity. And number three, we have also seen that all these ones, they can be used as flavoring agents. As flavoring agents. In other words, they add flavor. They add flavor to food. But also, not only that, we have seen that apart from salt, most of them add aroma. But now we also want to look at others. How similar are they? We have seen almost all of them add nutrients. This one will give you sodium in the body. This one will give you vitamins. This one will give you vitamins. This one also will give you vitamins, and I say vitamins actually. So we are going to say all the food additives add nutrients, add nutrients in our body. Okay, so they are also nutrients. Those are all some of the ones that we can put here. Let's look at the differences between other ingredients, that is onions, tomatoes, and curry powder and common salt. Let's look at them. Number one, a common salt is an inorganic compound. Is an inorganic compound. If you want to make it more better, you can say an ionic inorganic compound. Now there you have added some good chemistry. The ionic, remember we say that sodium chloride is written as this, as its chemical formula, made up of a chloride and then a sodium. This one is a metal, and this one is a non-metal. And we know a compound formed between a metal and a non-metal is held together by an ionic bond, and it is also called an ionic compound. That's why you have said, while others are organic compounds. Yes, they are organic compounds. That's our point number one. Our point number two, you can see that common salt, among all the functions we have named, it is only a common salt that can be used as a preservative. So common salt is a preservative. While others are not. Okay, then we come and give number three. Now you realize that all of them, we are saying tomatoes can give us aroma, onions can give us aroma, all others, but common salt cannot. So we are going to say other organic, other food additives, other food additives add aroma in food, but common salt are not. But common salt are not. How was it? How was it? Please, if there is any question that you have and is disturbing you about this, share it. Share it and let us see how to go about it. So today we have been able to go through all the items, all the tasks under item 1 of UCE Chemistry paper 1 2025. See you in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe. Subscribe to keep on getting alerts and alerts. Thank you very much.